Joining me right now is Democratic Congressman Raja Krishnamoorthi of Illinois. He sits on the House Intelligence and Oversight Committees, which, of course, also has issued subpoenas for Trump records and documents. Congressman, thanks for coming in.
Thank you, Kate.
So here's where it feels like we are right now. You're now in a place where the White House is not going to give you anything in the terms of the documents that you all are asking for. You've got Jerry Nadler there talking about not ruling out impeachment, also saying when it comes to the officials and documents they've requested, all options remain on the table, including fines, including jail time. Can you make the case at this point that you are not headed in that direction?
Yes, I think that we're starting to see some cracks in their obstructionism. I'll just give you one example. In the Senate, Mr. Burr, the Republican chairman of the Senate Intelligence Committee, had subpoenaed Don Trump Jr. As you know, his father, the White House counsel, as well as Lindsey Graham all told him not to testify. Well, it turns out he is going to testify soon, and it's going to be on a number of topics. And so I think that there are cracks that are emerging, and we have to vindicate the will of the American people to have oversight of the executive branch.
Are you in a different place then than Jerry Nadler on this? I mean, he's outraged. You called it shameless. I mean, are you in a different place than him on the response from the White House here?
No, I found the letter to be, the 12-page letter to be very disturbing. It was meritless. At one point, I think Mr. Cipollone compared President Trump to George Washington in terms of having discussions with foreign leaders and not being subject to having any of those discussions being subject to any kind of disclosure or anything like that. This is ridiculous. And so I think that we have to now confront the challenge that's right in our face, which is, do we have a system of checks or balances or not? I think the American people want that, and that's what we have to vindicate right now.
And to be honest, at this point, it is starting to look like the White House is calling your bluff in terms of House Democrats. I mean, they're not giving you anything, really. Do you want to see people starting to be slapped with fines?
Well, I think that they are cooperating with different committees in different ways. But that being said, I stand with Mr. Nadler and others who say that we should hold people in contempt if they don't answer our subpoenas. In particular, I think Mr. Barr refuses to produce the unredacted Mueller report and the underlying documents, and he asserts executive privilege over all of that, which is completely overbroad and has no basis in the law. And I think the courts will see right through that as we proceed in the court litigation process, too.
Well, and I want to get your take on kind of where your breaking point will be. Because if you take, like, the president's tax returns, the House is waiting to hear back from the IRS commissioner and the Treasury Secretary still. Let me play you what the Treasury Secretary, though, said just yesterday.
We haven't had an official response yet. I think we have a few more days. We will comply with the timing of it, and I think you can pretty much guess how we're going to, but I haven't made a decision.
You can pretty much guess how we're going to respond. I mean, that's another example of the administration not giving you what you all believe you are entitled to. I mean, set the bar for me. Where is your breaking point?
Well, we're not there yet. I think that, at least I'm not there yet. I think that Mr. Neal of the House Ways and Means Committee issued a subpoena. They have to respond by this Friday, as the Treasury Secretary made clear in his answer. But after that, obviously, we have to enforce the subpoena. And in that particular case, there's actually a violation of a statute that requires the executive branch to provide tax returns to the chairman of the House Ways and Means Committee. So it's not just an issue of oversight. It's also an issue of enforcing statutes. And I think there, again, we are on the right side of the law. Now, for those who believe that the president is going to delay this process, drag it out, and make sure that we don't get anything, I just point to one other example from the Oversight Committee. The Oversight Committee requested documents to be produced from the Mazars firm under a subpoena for financial records of Mr. Trump. And there, again, the Trump administration tried to drag out the litigation process, but to everyone's surprise, the judge in that particular case convened an expedited hearing this past week, And I think that similar approach is going to be taken with regard to a number of subpoenas.
We'll see. Great to see you, Congressman.